All right, so for today's drawing, I decided to do something a bit Christmassy. I wanted to do an elf. The only idea I really had on it, I wanted to have this big head kind of carrying a candy cane, like this tiny little elf carrying this candy cane. So the candy cane is almost taller than this whole elf. And so I had this big head, and then it just honestly just sticks for arms and legs at the beginning, and they fill in a bit later, but they never get too thick. So I want to make sure that the weight was looking real good on this one. I have kind of her back arched a little bit here because it's like, kind of arching back to hold that candy cane on there. And then I just want to have fun with some of these different holiday clothing that you can see. We've all seen bunches of elves and lots of different holiday specials and things like that. So I like the little frills going on kind of at the waist, the candy cane striping on some of the tights. Love the shoes. Like, the shoes are fantastic, the little Jingle Belly shoes. I put one of those Jingle Bells up on the hat there. Wanted to make sure that I'm hitting all those things. They've even got a sprig of holly coming up off the hat. Wanted the big face and these thin little arms and legs to have kind of a lot of this ornamentation. A lot of Christmas is fun because it is just very garish in a lot of its things. There's just, Christmas trees are covered in lights and ornaments and things like that. And I wanted this costume to kind of reflect a bit of that, where you had just lots of those patternings and lots of those different things. Lots of textures and colors going on there. As always, really starting in on the face and the head. That's always the focus, so I wanted to make sure that that's really popping and really working. I wanted the nose to appear a little red, like, just like it's chilly up in the North Pole. You know how your nose gets all red and kind of flush and stuff like that. So here I'm going in the candy cane. I kept hearing as I was doing this candy cane, if you've seen Wreck-It Ralph, when Vanellope says double stripe and it kind of disappears, I wanted that big stripe versus the little stripe, and I kept hearing Vanellope say that whenever I was working on the candy cane there, which was just kind of fun. Now going in a bit on this, now that I've got some of the candy cane going, put a stripe, put a border in on that tunic there. What's going on with some of these different things, making sure that the face is working so I can get the top of the tunic. And a lot of the tunic, I'd actually probably do a bit more, but it was covered up with that candy cane, so I'm just letting it be kind of, that over the tights type of thing going on there. Making sure the cheeks are nice and red. A bit more of this candy cane. I want to make sure that the things in front, that candy cane and those hands, are kind of bold. You want those front objects to be very bold so it feels like they are coming out toward you. Going in on the shoes. Love the shoes, love the shoes. You can just hear them just kind of tinkling, ting, 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 So that was a lot of fun. More double stripe for the candy cane. Just a hint of a bit more frilling on the kind of the collar of the shirt. Going in on the holly. And just kind of popping around. I'll do that a lot in my drawings. You pop around all these different places. There are sometimes where I kind of wait on something because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. But generally, I'll go around the drawing and make sure each piece is getting a bit and a bit and a bit. The head usually gets done first, and things like the hands because they're so important. But by and large, I'm going around and making sure that the whole drawing is getting some attention. That way, if there's a problem with it, I can kind of see it pretty quickly. Making sure that that head kind of... It looks, it was making a weird shape there if it was cut off entirely by the candy cane, and I want it to pop out. I didn't want to create any weird tangents or things like that. Going in, doing a bit of shading for that tunic there. Finally going in on that hat. I'm going to add a bit more, now that I've shaded in some of these other areas like that tunic, I got to make sure that the candy cane stands out a bit more. Candy canes are great because it is such a dark versus such a light. You have whites versus dark reds, or those different things, those different colors coming in. So it really makes for a nice image and a nice piece because of that contrast. They just pop out really, really well. Giving him a little bit of a shadow here just so that he's standing on something. He, she. Sorry, they've got the eyelashes in there. I don't know what elves are. I'm going to go with she on this one, even though I've said he a couple times. Making sure that bottom line is really nice and dark there. Give it some solidity, some base. And, yep, now he's got gloves and everything. He's just a fun little elf. Enjoy. Thanks for watching today's drawing. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment at the bottom if there's something specific you want to see drawn, and maybe it'll make it into a future video.